Silver the Hedgehog, Prime, mainline. Right away, Sonic Team throws you a curveball. A sleek, future-born Hedgehog steps straight out of disaster, wielding telekinetic powers no one in the series can rival, and the story doesn't even blink. Silver the Hedgehog isn't here to chase rings or one-up Sonic. He's sent from a timeline 200 years ahead, where hope is extinct and catastrophe is the daily forecast. The absurdity is real. In a universe packed with speedsters, energy manipulators, and at least two blatant time travelers already, Silver's arrival somehow manages to feel both necessary and disruptive. Silver's first canon appearance in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 isn't subtle. He lands in the present with singular focus to prevent Iblis from ever ravaging his future. From minute one, his actions are shaped by urgency and numbers. Silver is from the year 2865, a future reduced to scorched earth, and the chain of decisions he faces reads more like a crisis manager than a traditional hero. Unlike Sonic or Shadow, Silver doesn't attack head-on. He surveys the field, lifts debris, and manipulates every element with his psychic abilities. Mechanics in 006 translate this exactly. You're not running, you're solving, immobilizing foes, turning obstacles into ammunition, and pulling off combos that refuse to look like anyone else's gameplay. His visual design is surgical in its messaging. Silver's fur is the cleanest, brightest silver in the canon, spiking upward in sharp, gravity-defying tufts that broadcast his outsider status. The cyan highlights in his eyes, gloves, and shoes aren't just there for style. They serve as channels for his telekinetic energy, and game art consistently ties these colors to his psychic arsenal. He's the hedgehog who wears his alienation on his sleeve. Everything about Silver screams, not from around here. Even his posture is distinctive, reserved, measured, always assessing rather than simply reacting. The gloves feature ring markings that glow during psychic usage, implying technology or energy far beyond what anyone else in the cast has, and his boots are both functional and futuristic, meant for a ruined world more than an idyllic green hill. The timeline Silver occupies is anything but arbitrary. He isn't simply dropped into the present for flavor, he's directed almost militarily by a conviction to rewrite history and eradicate the source of disaster. That mission leads to the infamous moment where he targets Sonic, mistaken as the Iblis trigger. Silver's drive is terrifying. His single-minded quest nearly sabotages the timeline he's trying to save, and the fact that he acts from incomplete information puts him in direct conflict with the heroes. The dilemma lands like a punch. He's so focused on correcting the future, he becomes the threat in the present. Unlike most Sonic characters, Silver's stakes are always spelled out. He's fighting for the survival of everyone he's ever known. Silver isn't a one-game anomaly. He shows up again in Sonic Rivals and Sonic Rivals 2, still guided by his fixation on changing fate. In Rivals, he battles other characters for Chaos Emeralds, viewing them as tools to stabilize his timeline and prevent further disaster. His approach remains rooted in calculation and psychic finesse. While Knuckles punches and Shadow dashes, Silver problem solves with mind-powered manipulation. In Generations, he's promoted to boss status, reshaping the arena with psychic attacks, launching cars and chunks of scenery at the player, every move a reminder that this isn't a typical Hedgehog fight. Archie Comics continuity takes Silver even further. He's depicted as a time-traveling hero investigating timeline anomalies and dealing with future threats. He becomes part detective, part warrior, hunting for those who threaten causality. Silver's world is never static. It's always on the brink, and his calibration to fate only intensifies. He gets involved in major timeline events, including the Genesis Wave. He's forced to confront the ethics of intervention, time travel's endless paradoxes, and the heartbreak of seeing timelines erased or rewritten. The trauma sticks. Silver's character is marked by loss and responsibility in nearly every appearance. Even his relationships are uniquely strained. Silver doesn't instantly buddy up with Sonic or Blaze. His trust issues are baked in by years of ruined futures. With Blaze, he has a bond forged in shared catastrophe. She's one of the few who understands the stakes he's dealing with, and that partnership threads throughout both game and comic arcs. With Sonic, the relationship is adversarial at first, then complicated by guilt and gratitude. The Shadow dynamic is even more cautious, two hedgehogs united by isolation and a willingness to confront impossible odds. Silver's psychic abilities are his badge, but also his curse. Every time he solves a problem, there's a weight. Telekinesis isn't just about tossing items. It's the means he uses to keep fighting when time fails or allies desert him. Puzzle solving, combat manipulation, tactical rewinding, all of it points to a character who fixes, not just fights. Plenty of fans argue Silver's arc is too convoluted, another time traveler, another tangle of parallel universes, another mess of alternate timelines nobody can diagram without a degree in speculative fiction. But Silver comes with receipts, explicit timeline data, direct causal links to disaster, and a series of abilities that never blend into the background. His actions shape the stakes. Every contradiction, every mistake is hammered home by consequences the story refuses to ignore. What does this prove about Silver variants as a whole? The category isn't a lazy parade of hedgehogs with palette swaps or token superpowers. The Prime Silver anchors the franchise to a story of trauma, consequence, and purpose. He's more than an alternate. He's a standard. Every variant after him is forced to carry the weight of his origin. Future-obsessed, telekinetic, defined by mistakes and the hope of rewriting a broken timeline. With Silver, the franchise shows that a new Hedgehog isn't just window dressing, it's an engine for plot, ethics, and consequence. The original variation sets the bar so high that every successor is measured by how much future they bring with them, and how much baggage they carry from the past they're sworn to fix. Super Silver, coming straight out of that doomed future, Super Silver ups the ante, all the psychic intensity of Silver, but cranked to cosmic levels. If the baseline version feels desperate, Super Silver blasts past desperation into all-out mythic territory. Sure, Silver can move boulders and freeze missiles mid-air, but this transformation is the moment he stops playing defense and turns the entire battlefield upside down. In Sonic Forces Mobile, his super form isn't tacked on or hidden, it's the star of an event that unfolded over a single unlock week, running from June 22nd to June 29th. The game's update 4.18 didn't just offer Super Silver to the roster, it handed him a splash screen, a new CGI render inspired by the iconic Yuji Uekawa Sonic Channel artwork, showcasing more pronounced quills and a roaring gold aura. Nothing subtle here. There's a quiet escalation from the mainline Silver. Regular telekinesis is impressive, but when he triggers his super form using the 7 Chaos Emeralds, everything spikes. Invincibility is baked right in, and his psychic powers don't just solve puzzles, they dominate whole stages. Super Silver is faster, stronger, and enveloped in a gold shine that acts as both shield and statement. Players who unlock him in mobile don't just get a new color palette. The transformation shifts gameplay, making objects fly farther, attacks land harder, and combos rack up in ways regular Silver could never touch. It's not just about Flash. Super Silver activates in response to great threats, such as teaming up with Super Sonic to defeat Solaris in Sonic the Hedgehog, 2006. The mechanics match the narrative, turns last longer, moves expand, and the gold aura never dims until the fight is over. Sega didn't treat this variant as a casual bonus or cosmetic reward, it was positioned as the centerpiece of competition, broadcasting that this form meant something. Even the event structure tells you, this is no idle Hedgehog reskin, this is the franchise leaning hard into Silver's unique brand of power. Super forms in the Sonic universe aren't new, but Super Silver changes the math. Super Sonic is all speed and resilience, Super Shadow is chaos-fueled brute force, but Super Silver is psychic escalation, the only super transformation where telekinetic powers balloon instead of just physical stats. His gold aura is proof. He's the Hedgehog who doesn't sprint past the problem, he bends the whole thing to his will. The transformation is a statement, when ordinary psychic attacks aren't enough. This is the hedge against total annihilation. Games and comics agree on the stakes. When Super Silver appears, the timeline is twisted, the threat is existential, and only a miracle will win. Most super forms are predictable power-ups, but Super Silver is reserved for moments when the world can't be saved by running or punching. His mechanics aren't just a flourish, they change how a stage is fought, how a final boss is handled, how the player strategizes. Super Silver isn't just a tier-up, he's a volume-up, a shift in the universe's balance, franchise-wide. Why does it matter? Because Super Silver signals what the larger system is capable of. His inclusion isn't just fan service, it's canon proof that Silver's brand of future-driven psychic power genuinely matters. When the franchise needs stakes to go higher than speed, higher than brute force, Super Silver shows the category can deliver a transformation that is both deeply rooted in the original arc and explosively different. There's a reason Sega anchored a week-long event around this form. Super Silver isn't just a one-off, he's the answer the franchise delivers when it finally admits speed alone can't fix the timeline. Subscribe and tell us in the comments which Silver the Hedgehog variant you think was the most legendary. Let's get back into it. Gold Style Silver. Super Silver was out of reach, a transformation that was legendary, locked behind events, and encountered mostly in rumor or screenshot. Gold Style Silver, on the other hand, seems to practically beckon from your daily feed in Sonic Speed Simulator, a slick gold silhouette announced not as a power, but as a prize. And if Super Silver felt exclusive, Gold-style Silver feels like something you can chase, earn, and flex, except the second you start playing, you realize proximity is not the same as attainability. This is where Gold-style Silver draws its line. You log into Sonic Speed Simulator thinking it's another skin, another alternate look to snatch from daily rewards or craft from some shop menu, only to find yourself tagged in a week-long event that strains even seasoned players. The Gold-style series in Speed Simulator isn't just cosmetic, it's a badge of grind. Perhaps the clearest proof that event exclusivity is the currency of status. There is no shortcut through the shop. You unlock Gold-style Silver by reaching day 30 in the daily login calendar in Sonic Speed Simulator. It's a reward for consistent play rather than in-game challenges. Each objective feels exactly calibrated to reject casual play. Your progress is tracked by the login calendar, with Gold-style Silver as the ultimate reward. The interesting bit is how this variant bends the line between what counts as alternate and reward. It's not a power-up, not a new ability, and not a transformation of Silver's core powers. There is no story tie. Gold-style Silver isn't from the main games. He isn't the result of an in-universe event or upgrade. And the game never pretends otherwise. The moment you unlock him, you'll see no change in gameplay. His moveset stays loyal to classic Silver, hover, psychokinesis, telekinetic dashes, all unchanged. No stat boost, no hidden advantage. This gold isn't power, it's proof you were there when it mattered. And still, the illusion persists. People assume Gold-style Silver is a playable version of some greater Silver, powered up, maybe even a Super Silver copy in a different palette. Nobody can blame them. The event build-up, the parade of Gold-style variants, the golden shine and exclusive unlock make it easy to assume more than is delivered. But the core fact is immovable. Gold-style Silver is a skin with no mechanical advantage. You put in the hours, tick the boxes, and get a gleaming trophy, but no new powers, no canon shift. The only story he tells is that you were dedicated enough to beat the event. Yet for all the complaints about it's just a reskin, Gold-style Silver has become a status symbol. Players chase the skin because it is hard, because it proves you did more than click buy. He's part of a gallery of Gold-style variants, Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles, all with event-bound gold costumes. So collecting him signals you've mastered Speed Simulator's rotating event grind. In a world where so many characters arrive as banners, promos, or easy shop drops, Gold-style Silver stands as a monument to persistence over luck. He's not a transformation, not a legend, but he is a moment on your timeline, visible every time you idle in a lobby and draw a crowd. If the difference between Super Silver and Gold-style Silver is spectacle versus effort, then the real image Gold-style Silver gives off is unmistakable. The quiet shimmer of achievement as rivals pause their own runs to be sure it's really you walking by, glowing gold under the waiting room lights. ESP Silver. If Gold-style Silver was a monument to grind, ESP Silver is a messy, explosive leap into the unknown, by category, by abilities, by sheer audacity. Where Gold-style is a costume, ESP Silver is a wholesale reinvention, a variant that drops Silver into the body of a demigod and lets players tear up levels at speeds the mainline games never even hint at. ESP Silver's mainline presence is in Sonic Speed Simulator, where he enters as a notable super rarity variant. While Gold-style Silver rides on exclusivity and shininess, ESP Silver comes screaming in as a supercharged premium variant. ESP Silver, in Sonic Speed Simulator, features a blue aura, distinguishing him from base Silver. The phrase doesn't do it justice. In Sonic Speed Simulator, ESP Silver is presented as a high-rarity, empowered form. For a character usually positioned as earnest but slightly outmatched, ESP Silver is a paradox. A version that cannot be defeated, not by spikes, lasers, or time limits. That's only the surface. Where it gets disruptive, almost unnatural, is stamina. The blue aura, it's not decorative. It signals you are operating outside the usual laws of the game, lapping the normal variants, and rewriting expectations. ESP Silver doesn't just break the mold in Runner's Adventure. In Sonic Speed Simulator, ESP Silver is a super rarity character acquired during a limited time event. Once unlocked, ESP Silver features unique visual effects and flair, setting him apart from base Silver. It's all deliberate, visual overload, musical cues, and the floating blue aura to say unambiguously that this is a Silver who bends the world to his will. Now, a prudent critic would call foul. He's just a skin, so what? That's the claim. ESP Silver wears the name, but delivers nothing unique in play. But that's wrong on two fronts. First, ESP Silver changes the fundamental mechanics in both Runner's Adventure and Speed Simulator. True invincibility is not just cosmetic. ESP Silver stands out through his super variation visuals and event-limited status. Second, you name-drop ESP Silver not to show off a costume, but to make it clear. You played the game on a different difficulty, and you played as Silver unchained. Reset your expectations. This is not an alternate look. ESP Silver is presented as a high-status super variation exclusive to Sonic Speed Simulator. He differs visually from base Silver, marked by a blue aura and super rarity status. If every other variant is a twist on style, ESP Silver is the one you tell your friends about when you want to make their jaw drop. Sir Galahad. Perhaps ESP Silver gets the comfort of true power and style, or Gold Style Silver gets to quietly accumulate status in the lobby. Sir Galahad offers neither. He is Silver torn from his usual universe and dropped into the world of Camelot, a realm of chivalry, burden, and sword fighting, where nothing familiar survives except the underlying face. Sir Galahad is Silver the Hedgehog's alternate reality doppelganger from the world of Camelot, serving as a knight of the Round Table. He isn't a simple skin or color swap. Galahad is a knight of the Round Table, forged in the shape of silver, reimagined as a medieval warrior. The design says everything. Galahad isn't silver with armor. He's a complete rebuild, a brilliant mix of silver and gold plate mail, blue accents, layered shoulder armor, and a helmet with a removable visor. The sword is a key part of his design, unique to this version of Silver in the Camelot universe. Every piece ties back to Camelot: silver blue gauntlets with circular emblems, boots capped and armored in bright aqua, heel pieces custom shaped to echo Silver's iconic spikes. This creates a figure equal parts familiar and strange, somehow Silver underneath but completely disguised. In this universe, hedgehogs wield swords, pledge oaths, and fight for honor rather than future timelines. In this universe, Sir Galahad is portrayed as a knight whose role and abilities are grounded in Camelot's tradition and combat. Galahad isn't a cheat code version or a montage of Silver's best traits. He's defined by his status as a knight and his commitment to Camelot's ideals, with a new role distinct from his identity as Silver in Mobius. The narrative is clear. Silver is reformed under the demands of Camelot, serving as a member of the Round Table alongside figures such as Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow in their own knightly forms. You can see each emblem, every gold-studded detail, and recognize the world's refusal to let Silver remain the psychic hero he was elsewhere. The ordinary explanation would go like this. Sir Galahad is simply Silver in medieval armor, a version transplanted but fundamentally unchanged. That's neat, quick, and absolutely false. If it were true, you'd expect Silver's abilities, the telekinesis, time warping, and earnest optimism, to remain. Instead, Galahad leaves it all behind. His role and appearance are shaped by Camelot's mythology. What marks him out is not borrowed moves or familiar catchphrases, but the armor, the sword, and the burdens imposed by the world he's forced to defend. Sir Galahad doesn't simply walk into a tournament as Silver wrapped in metal. He enters as a stranger to his own past, his sense of self rebuilt and reframed. Not a Mobian hero, but a champion made to fit the impossible strictures of Arthurian legend. Every time the visor lifts before combat, it's clear. The hedgehog underneath has forgotten the city he used to call home.